It's a nice early morning out here on the Norfolk coast, and the reason that I'm out here is to kind of pick up or start work again on this project that I began earlier this year, just documenting these old World War II airfields. One of the things that's really interested me as I made the work kind of earlier in the year is just a couple different situations where I came across this like old original wartime artwork in some of these Air Force bases, some of it by chance. So fascinating to know that this stuff is still out there, and it's in, hidden away in the woods and buildings and stuff like that. So this area in particular, the Norfolk area, I've been spending a bunch of time doing some research, and I would say there's like 5 or 6 different leads I have on some old artwork, some of it really, really fascinating. So I wanted to get back out here and just basically tour around, spend some time knocking on doors, going on walks, going through woods, and seeing if I can get access to or find some of it and make some images. So that's what we're gonna do today. Pretty excited about it. The first one that I'm starting at is kind of at the top of my list, one of the most interesting I've come across. So we're pretty close by. I'm actually out at one of the old airfields or in the area. You can see, I think this is the old perimeter track here. But we'll jump in the car, gonna head down the road just a little bit and knock on the door, see if I can get into this one place. I'll tell you a little bit more about it as we drive. So this entire area out here is so fascinating just because, it's heavily populated in the war by airfields, obviously with its location being on the East Coast, and then also just a lot of flat farmland. And nowadays when you come out here, so much still exists, kind of hidden and tucked away. There's 6 locations in particular that I wanted to check out, but this first one we're going to go to has what I think is probably one of the most interesting pieces of original artwork left. It's this old United States Army Air Force mural on the back wall of what used to be a mess hall at an old airfield. Nowadays it's privately owned. It used to be owned by an auto parts company, which I called last week, and they said they sold the building off 10 years ago. So I'm hoping I can go to where it is. There's a house in front, knock on the door and get a little bit more information, or even better access to it. It'd be a huge win if I could start my day with that. So just up the road here, go knock on the door, hopefully someone's around, and see if we can get in. All right, so the house is right over here, just pulled over on the side of the road here. I'm gonna leave the camera here, but I'm gonna run over and see if I can get access, and if it's a go, then come back and grab stuff and get in there. Fingers crossed. Get a card. Sorry to bother you.
It's okay.
Out of curiosity, do you own the building right there?
Yes, we do.
So long story short, I'm a photographer from Canada. I'm just documenting old World War II airfields.
Yeah.
And I've been looking for this one piece of artwork, which is in an old building, and I think it's that one.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to knock on your door and see if there's any chance at all that I'd be able to see it or to photograph it.
Yeah. Are you close by?
I'm in the area for the entire day, up until like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. tonight.
Well, if you could come back.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'll stop back by later around 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Great.
And then, you can take the time.
Sure, that's great. Okay, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Good day.
Okay, so I don't know if my mic caught all that or not, but basically it is a go. The people were home, so friendly. They said I could go in the building and make some photographs after. I have to come back at the end of the day though. They're out for the day, so I'm gonna come back at like 5 or 6, and I think I'll end my shoot with that, which is gonna be perfect. Pretty excited about that. So anyways, I'm gonna pull up my list, but we'll head to the next location and see if we can start doing something. But that's a huge win. Can't wait to see that. Okay, location number 2. It looks like there's people there. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Pleased to hear it.
Do you know who owns this building? Is that you? You do. Okay, so at location number 2, just in this industrial park, and I was able to meet the owner, Jeff. Super kind, letting me kind of explore this one hut in particular, which used to be the original library, I think the sergeant's library. I'll have to ask him when he comes back in. Some pretty incredible pieces left here still, and this is what I was hoping to find. So very cool, I'll show you. So back here we have the original fireplace still, and then you can see on either side we have this original artwork. It's just so cool that that still exists. Like I said, you would never know that this exists. These things are just tucked away in these buildings. And there's one more wall. And then just back on this wall here, unfortunately these pieces have faded. You can kind of make out up there, and on the other side I'll get a few other shots what's left, even back there as well. So this side's not doing as good, but yeah, that other side's pretty impressive. So I think I'll get the camera set up and make a few images. And so you said this was the library, but for who?
The officers' library.
Officers' library, that's right, okay. So I really like this with the old lockers. Pretty simple composition, just going portrait. And yeah, just the artwork. So cool. So this one is cool, but I think I like the other one better with the 2 characters. But we'll shoot this while we're here. Yeah, this one's a little more awkward to shoot. Definitely like that one over there. Kind of shoot into the shadows, get a little more depth, but yeah, still nice to document, because who knows how much longer these things will be around. So back to the video in a second, just have to quickly talk about the sponsor today, which is Squarespace. So I've been using Squarespace for a number of years now, and what I love is how easy it is to just build a clean, professional looking website for your photography. And you can do this either using one of their pre-made templates, or you can use something like their blueprint builder, which allows you to build your site from scratch, but gives you really helpful tools like pre-made page layouts and different font and color pairings. And for me, someone who has very limited web design and building skills, I love how easy it is for my website to grow with me, especially as I have new ideas. So as an example, one of the sections I added recently is for experimental projects and things in the works. And what I'll do is just add a new page with a gallery whenever I've started work on something new, and it's as simple as just clicking and dragging the images onto the screen to upload them, and then I can click and drag to play with reordering, to see different sequencing and pairing options. So I love doing this as a way to kind of see the work develop and come to life as you make it. So check out squarespace.com today, sign up for a free trial, test it out, and when you're ready to launch, you can use my link below to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay, back to the video. So this day is going by very quick, and I'm realizing that I'm definitely not going to be able to get to all these places that I wanted to, but I got to race over to this museum. That's my next spot. They're opening it up for me shortly, but in the area, I just wanted to look up here. I'm kind of close by. This is actually the area around RAF Thorpe Abbotts, which was a pretty well-known airfield, and most recently it was actually in the Masters of the Air series, which was on Apple TV. And there's one building in particular that in my research I saw might actually have a faint area of where there used to be like a big insignia or something like that. So it's just up here. We're gonna look at it quick and then get over to the museum. So I'm assuming this is the old perimeter track, which I don't know exactly where the runways would have been. I'd have to look on a map, but this to me looks pretty original. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I think this was maybe the officers' barracks. And like I said, apparently on one of the walls, there was some artwork left, but even just right now, it's looking like there might actually be some graffiti in there, which was not in the pictures that I saw online, so that's a bit of a shame, but we'll go take a closer look. Okay, this building is looking in way worse shape than even just the pictures I saw from a couple of years ago. You know, that wall's caving in over there, so I actually don't know if I'm gonna go in, but I think that's the wall over there, which looks like someone spray painted right over. This is what I worry about with this stuff. Let's go look over there. This is definitely the wall. You can see, I don't want to go in here too far. The roof is, I don't think it'll be up for much longer. You can see it kind of looks like a star almost. Might be difficult to see on the video here, but whoever felt like writing their name wrote right over top of it. That sucks. Like I said, that's what I worry about with a lot of these places and what's really motivating about trying to find this stuff and photograph it, just because, you know, there's buildings like this, they're falling in, they're also, you know, getting vandalized, and they're aging as well, and weather, and this stuff's out there, but it's not gonna be around for much longer. So really sucks that someone had to do that. I mean, it was a pretty faint outline of what was there, but even still, it would have been worth documenting. So yeah, that's too bad. But anyways, we'll get in the car, we'll go to this museum. This is gonna be kind of the complete opposite, an area where, you know, people have restored an old barracks and really preserved a few pieces. So we'll get over there and see what it's like. Just got in here into the Red Feather Club. This place is pretty incredible. This was the home of the 95th Bomb Group, and this whole place has been completely restored. So it's very different than anything else that I've been to so far. But like I said, there are some original murals that have been preserved. But I just did a quick tour. Robin, who volunteers here, kind of gave me the lay of the land and told me some of the history of this place. And like I said, it's been restored, but it's been kept very, very original. It's, you know, it's really impressive. So I'll show you. So they have this amazing kind of model of the entire airfield and the villages. But murals are around here. This is really cool. The original bar. I'll show you. So you don't see this often at all. And like I said, all of this stuff was kept completely original when it was restored. So from the signage to even the chairs, apparently these were in Masters of the Air, which is really cool. But if we walk around here to the other part of the bar, there's the murals. So incredible that these still exist, and honestly, it's so nice to see them in a place like this where they're going to be preserved. So there's those three there. And then we have these on the other wall. It's really, really cool. And apparently when this place was being restored, the only thing that was actually standing were these two walls. And then everything else was rebuilt. So they've done a ton of work here. It's so impressive. And then in here, the original dance hall. They hold a bunch of events. It's probably empty right now, but yeah, what a cool place. Very neat, but running short on time, so time to get set up. All right, so I'm gonna start here. Like I said, this is very different than anything else I've done. seeing these preserved like this, kind of in a fully finished place. But definitely some of the most impressive ones seen yet. I wasn't sure how I would like a place that's kind of like a recreation, not that the art is, but it's actually really neat to see this all laid out like this. Very unique. Need to be a revisit to this place for sure. Very cool. So just got out to this final location. The folks are home who own the place, and they just gave me a little bit of a tour, left me to make some images, but this is gonna be everything I hoped it would be. I'll show you, it's pretty incredible, the pieces that are left. The one I was after and then some. So this is the first mural, and like I said, this is really incredible. This has got to be one of the most well-preserved, largest ones in this area. I think it's safe to say. Nothing else that I've come across is in this kind of condition. Really, really incredible. Amazing. United States Army Air Force 392nd Bomb Group. Like even this area here, this is such good condition. It's really nice to see. Okay, a couple more in the other side here that they showed me. Go have a look. So this is just some remains of one compared to the other. Obviously not much left there. Still really cool, but down here are a bunch of the original, I guess, names from like planning for flights, flight logs or flight lists, whatever you want to call them. And even though it's deteriorating, I mean, that's still really interesting. More over here too. And last one, it's just up here. Last one on this side at least. The exact same as what we saw on the other side. It's a shame these aren't as well preserved, but it's still pretty interesting. They're here. There's a couple more right down here, which would have been old paintings. You can see there's half of one there. It's like a woman with a martini glass. And then one up there too. What a find here. What a way to end it. The light's amazing here right now, so I think I'm gonna get my tripod, photograph these ones, because there's a lot more light over there with the big door open. It's a pretty wild history. light is really nice right now too, but it's very intense, this window light. I don't mind if it blows out a bit, but I'm gonna try and keep some of it. Okay, gonna photograph this last one, and then I think it's gonna be time to get on the road. This one's so impressive. Lots to avoid though. So I think that's a wrap. Huge day. Don't want to take up too much of their time here, but so cool to be able to have access to this place. And yeah, that definitely lived up to the expectations I had, and I feel really fortunate to be able to come and see that stuff and photograph it, because you never know how long this stuff's going to be around. But yeah, pretty amazing something like that still exists in that condition. So cool way to end the trip. Big day overall, like I said, probably planned a little bit too much, but I'll be back. I feel like there's still lots more to find and lots more to see. And if anything, this trip today and finding the stuff that I did just makes me, yeah, want to pursue this even more. So overall, very, very satisfied with this one.